Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Yoda from SEGADriven.com, and welcome back to our Sonic Amateur Games Expo 2020 coverage. In this video we're taking a look at Sonic Relighted, which was developed by DavidKBD. Now this is an interesting one. So we've got a fully 3D Sonic fan game here, but it decides to go for the old fixed isometric viewpoint. Well, I say fixed, but you can rotate it in sort of like 90-degree angles, but you don't have free sort of like rotation. You can't just like map the right stick to the rotation of the camera. It's all done with the shoulder buttons on a controller. So yeah, interesting stuff this. I really like the look of it. I am, you know, quite partial to a bit of Sonic 3D Blast, and this definitely riffs on that quite heavily. But I also feel like it kind of riffs on Sonic Labyrinth in that it's quite puzzly. To complete the stage, you're basically looking around the map for 4 switches. Once you activate them all, you beat the stage. So yeah, very explorative, very good use of a large open map, and yeah, if you ever get scenery in your, stuck in your field of vision, then you can always rotate the camera and move it out of the way, which is a cool little idea. Yeah, I enjoyed this quite a lot. It controls well, it's really responsive, maybe a little floaty. I did find myself over jumping on times and falling down pits, but it wasn't too difficult to adjust to it, to be honest with you. I felt on the whole that it controls pretty well. I think the presentation is really, really good. I like the sort of low poly, sort of low detail texture mapping that they've gone for. It looks very Saturn, to be honest with you, except with maybe better lighting, for example. But yeah, I really like that look. It definitely looks like something that could have appeared on the Saturn, which is always an aesthetic I'm into. Yeah, controls pretty well, and I'd recommend it, to be honest with you. It's an interesting and unique little thing. Definitely one of the more original titles at this year's Sage. I just like that they've gone for that isometric look, but still rendered everything in 3D. I think it makes for a very striking visual design that I'm into. Yeah, but like I say, my main complaint with this really is that it's just the controls are just a little bit too floaty for their own good, and it's kind of difficult to do the sort of precision jumping onto enemies or platforms that it really wants you to do. I found myself trying to line up jumps onto the switches repeatedly and not quite getting there when I feel like it should have just been intuitive enough to just do that, quite easily. So yeah, the controls just need a little bit more tweaking to feel a little bit more natural. But yeah, otherwise I really enjoyed my time with this. The other thing I'd say is that perhaps the field of vision needs to be a little bit wider so you can see more of what's coming up ahead. I think because it's so zoomed in, and I know that's a strange thing to say because this is a big old widescreen resolution and you can see an awful lot of what's going on at any given point, but I think because of the speed the character moves at and just the placement of the camera is quite not too close, but close enough to just not be able to see an awful lot of what's coming up. You can't really let loose and go as fast as possible. I found myself starting and stopping an awful lot to sort of adjust where I wanted to jump to or what I wanted to jump onto. Yeah, it needs a little bit of tweaking. I like what's here to begin with. I think there's a solid foundation for a really good game here, to be honest with you. I think this will definitely be a better game once we get to later releases of it. But at the moment, it could just use a little bit of tweaking in the control department and maybe moving the camera a little bit further out to allow you to see more of what's coming up. But overall, a really solid little game. I enjoyed my time with it. I really like the visuals. I think they're a lovely sort of mix of Saturn era, low poly, low texture quality, and modern lighting, which makes for a really interesting and unique look that is entirely unique to this. Really good stuff on the whole. Honestly, if you like the look of it, you'll know that you'll want to give it a go. But yeah, just be prepared for some interesting control quirks and maybe not enough vision of what's coming up for you to be able to react to it accordingly. So yeah, not quite there at the moment, but it will be interesting to see where this goes in future releases.